Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Mack Crayton III, and I'm here to introduce a four-part, 5-minute long teaching series on the biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Why? This week is National Pride Week 2019, and I take this opportunity to wish everyone in the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community a happy Pride Week 2019. While many are celebrating diversity, inclusion, and equity, there are others who are opposed to the Equal Rights Amendments, and just this week, a bishop in the Catholic Church urged all Catholics not to participate in any pride parades or celebrations. For decades now, the LGBTQ community has been alienated from the church because of religious dogma. Biblical scriptures have been used to support the interpretation that God hates homosexuality and the homosexual. These teachings have created deep-seated wounds in the hearts of many LGBTQ individuals and resultantly have driven them out of the church. Probably the most common biblical reference used to oppose homosexuality is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. In the vast majority of cases, people who reference this story have never actually read it, and most can't tell you the book of the Bible where it's found. Still, that doesn't stop them from standing fast and repeating someone else's interpretation of Scripture that they've only heard but not have taken time out to read for themselves. I taught the story of Sodom and Gomorrah at my church, New Beginnings, in New Orleans a few years ago and felt led to share it with you during Pride Week 2019. I have broken down the lesson into 4 parts. Each part is only 5 minutes long, and I will teach one part a day for the next 4 days. So let's dive into part 1 of 4. Part 1 is titled Sodom's Distrust of Lot. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is found in the book of Genesis, chapter 19. The main character in this story is Lot, the nephew of Abraham. You may remember Abraham and his wife Sarah, who were promised a child even when they were very old, and they were blessed with a son, Isaac. So Lot lived in the city of Sodom, but was not a native-born citizen of Sodom. He relocated to Sodom after he and his uncle parted ways, and Abraham went on to Canaan. In addition to being an immigrant to the city of Sodom, Lot was very wealthy, which most of the local citizens of Sodom resented. To get a full understanding of this story, we must go back some years prior to the angel's visit of Lot in Sodom. If we go back to Genesis chapter 14, the king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah were allied with several other kings in a regional war against a king, Chedorlaomer, and the other kings that were with him. The king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah and their allies were defeated in this war. It was a custom that upon being defeated, that the citizens of the losing cities would be taken into captivity as prisoners, and all of the riches of that city would then be the possession of the winning king. So all the residents of Sodom and Gomorrah, including Lot, were taken into captivity as prisoners, and the riches of Sodom were taken. When Abraham, Lot's uncle, heard that he was in prison, Abraham and his army of servants went to war against Lot's captors, defeated them, and freed Lot and all the imprisoned citizens of Sodom. Additionally, Abraham returned the riches of the city back to the king of Sodom. As a result, the king of Sodom showed favor on Lot. After some years had passed, the same people who were rescued from captivity with Lot began to dislike and distrust him because he had so much favor with the king. Some people began conspiracy theories that implied that Lot orchestrated the city's overthrow and subsequent rescue so that he could win favor with the king. Many people believed the conspiracy theory, so the people of Sodom distrusted and disliked Lot and questioned the presence of any stranger that Lot associated with because they feared they would be taken into captivity again. We end part 1 of the story here. We now have background and context for the story for why the citizens or men of Sodom disliked and distrusted Lot. Join me tomorrow for part two, where we will explore the importance of the custom during biblical times for extending hospitality to strangers. This concludes part one of four of my 5-minute teachings on the biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah as it relates to homosexuality. I thank you for the privilege of your time. This is Dr. Mack Crayton.